Let's talk a little bit about the markets. So Peter Schiff is the CEO of Pacific Capital and the author of The Real Crash, America's Coming Bankruptcy, How to Save Yourself and Your Country. Peter, since we last spoke, markets have continued higher.
Well, the markets are riding the wave of all the cheap money. You know, that's what's driving the markets. You've got the money continuing to flow, and we're getting more news out of more central banks to get people to believe that interest rates will remain lower for longer. Reading articles again today about the Fed committed to maintaining the size of its balance sheet, not being able to shrink it. You had the recent news out of the ECB about more cheaper money flowing, and I think that is what is the wind that is in the market sails. But it is not a healthy rally when the only reason stocks are going up is because the value of our money is going down.
Well, you don't want to bet against it, though, do you?
Well, I'm not betting against it, but I think there are better ways of betting on it. I mean, rather than simply indiscriminately buying stocks, I mean, I think there are certain companies that will be the beneficiaries of inflation much more so than others, and there are certain asset classes. It still amazes me to the degree to which people are overlooking gold as a hedge against what's going on. Oil prices are really starting to pick up. In fact, if you look at the price of oil in terms of euros, it broke out this week, and to me, I think you have a much bigger move coming. So I think that's going to put a damper on all this lowflation talk in the Eurozone if the price of oil in Europe is surging.
Hi, Peter. My name is Tom Elliott from De Beer Group. I just wondered why we haven't seen inflation coming through in the real economy. I take on board what you're saying about inflation in asset prices, but U.S. inflation, despite all the QE, has been, well, it's diddly squat at the moment.
No, I think that's the way the government reports it. Look, rents last year, in the last year, rents in America were up 5%. Rents nationwide in apartments were up 10%, yet the government claims by using owner's equivalent rent that rent was only up 2.3%. Look, I just got a haircut yesterday, and the price that my barber charged me was 25% higher than I paid the last time I got my haircut for the same haircut. That's a 25% increase. Where's that going to be in the CPI? Look, Americans are experiencing, look at cattle prices. They've surged 5% in the last 10 days. Beef prices are surging, and it's not just beef. I mean, prices are going up for most things that we consume, and they're going up much faster than the CPI acknowledges. So we do have inflation. We're just not admitting it.
It's a very nice haircut, Peter, and don't get me started about the difference between a man's haircut cost and a woman's haircut cost, even if it's straight across. Well, don't even get me started.
You've got a lot more hair than I do. Take a look. I mean, I don't have much to work with.
Peter, last but not least,
but you know, I still paid $50.
$50? Wow, that's.
I paid 12 yesterday.
Yeah, was it? It was 40. It was 40 last time, and now it's 50.
I paid £12 sterling yesterday to a girl from Transylvania.
But it's a mighty fine haircut, though, Peter. You can't see him. It's a beautiful haircut. Peter, I also just want your view on the dollar as well, the euro dollar.
But it's expensive.
What's the euro dollar?
Look, I think the euro is going to go higher against the dollar. I mean, the fact that the euro didn't go down after Draghi came out with the negative deposit rates and he alluded towards the potential of a QE, the euro didn't sell off. In fact, it rallied a bit. I think that the bigger problem is with the U.S. dollar, and so I would be short the dollar against the euro. But, you know, the euro is going to have problems. It's not my favorite currency. I'd rather own a Scandinavian currency. I'd rather be in Switzerland or down in New Zealand, Australia, or there's some other currencies that I'd prefer over the euro. Look, the euro's even falling against the pound sterling, which shows you, that there are problems there, that it's weak against the pound. But the dollar has got much worse problems than Europe. And so the people who think that the euro is going to go down against the dollar, they're wrong. And if they're betting on that, they're going to lose.
Peter, thank you very much. Maybe you should come visit us in London. You can have your hair cut by the girl who cuts it for £12 from Transylvania. It's still to what, $20 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, but then I got the airfare, so that's good.
Airfare,
and you've got a big tip to pay in the States.
It's not going to save anybody.
Yeah.
Peter, thanks a lot. Peter Schiff, CEO of Pacific Capital. You can find us on